This next exercise is geared towards really improving internal rotation in people who have deficits in their back leg. So for instance, like whenever you see somebody walk and they do this heel whip thing where their heel kind of whips out and basically their foot doesn't stay straight and basically their hip can't rotate over a fixed foot, that's a deficit. It's called an internal rotation deficit. Basically their hip doesn't have the capacity to rotate over their back foot. So this is very important, I mean really for anything, but especially people who are tennis players, baseball players, basketball players, any sort of athletic endeavor. It's vitally important to have that internal rotation of that back foot, or like a back hip, because of course that's the power source of your body. So like if you're going into a forehand and you're stepping back like this, you have to really load this back hip, generate a lot of power as you drive that tennis racket through. So if you're missing that, this is a great stretch to really help open up these tissues. So what you want to do is you want to stand probably next to a wall to give you some sort of a target. And what you're going to do is you're going to have your feet in a split stance. So we're going to reach with the same side hand of the foot that's in front. So if my left foot's in front, I'm going to reach with my left hand and I'm going to come back. So I'm going to position this is, I'm going to be like at a 45-degree angle away from the wall. I'm going to keep both feet flat on the ground. I'm just going to take my left hand and rotate at shoulder height, touch, and come back. So I'm going to find a target that's about shoulder height, where I feel comfortable. I'm just going to try to increase my range a little bit farther each time. If you feel any pain in your back or you feel this kind of bothering you, then just sort of turn your body a little more where you're like on a clock, you're more like at 12 o'clock instead of 11, and kind of reach here and basically see if that's a successful pain-free range. Second thing is, if you feel your foot kind of spinning out, where it's basically your hip's not really able to go there at all, and you feel your foot kind of spinning out, or you feel it kind of rolling up like that, basically take a towel and roll it up like so. And what you want to do is you want to place it underneath your midfoot. So where the arch is on your foot, on like the opposite side of your foot, where your arch is right here on the outside of your foot, put basically that right underneath your basically pinky toe. So basically right underneath that part of your foot, your midfoot, and then go back to that split stance. And now really press that right foot on the ground and rotate. And if you notice, this basically sort of helps stabilize my foot, because of course my foot, my midfoot does not have the stability to really stay down flat on the ground as I try and rotate my hip over my foot. So this kind of helps it to be a lot more stable and fixed and make you more successful in that motion. So try about 10 to 12 repetitions. I do it 3 or 4 times a day to really help improve that rotation of your hips.